Hi everybody, welcome back. I apologize, our next draw started earlier than I had anticipated. It was a 1:15 and I erred on that. So I am Britt and I am back with you for the afternoon. I have a glass of soda, I have a bottle of beer, and I'm ready to chat with you guys about curling. Let's go to the far houses so you can see the stones coming into play right now. We have games on A, B, and C currently. And right now we are looking at, on sheet C, we're looking at Giuseppe Russo's squad versus Robert Kwan's squad. That's a first event game. Over on the center sheet, on B, we have Walker. I'm sorry, I can't see the names here. We have Walker versus... I'm walking so I can tell you who it is. Walker versus Bob Baroni. And over here on sheet C, we have Dave Schultz taking on Jack Miller. Jurina.
I can't say too loud.
Then she'll know we're talking. Ha ha! All right, folks, sorry about that. I was just over talking with the director about what's going on. So again, this is the 1:15 draw. We're going to try and entice someone to join us from the Greenhorns in a minute. But we have stones going on all over the place. Is the director coming on? No? Is he going to recruit a greenhorn for me?
No.
And the director has just drafted someone.
Say hi.
I sacrificed so much for the curling team, and I still have to come back at 10:45 at night.
Well, you're on the air now, so you're live.
Yeah, everyone on YouTube can now hear and see you. So please bear with us. So I'm Britt. What is your name? Well, say it. They can't see your name tag. She gestures at her name tag.
You to say it.
She gestures at her name tag like the folks on YouTube can see that or hear that. All right, well, welcome, Jarina. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Jarina, this is your first year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, welcome to Nutmeg Curling. What brought you into curling?
We wanted a hobby, and you can drink here.
That's an excellent combination. That's what brought most of the people in this room here.
Okay.
So how long have you been curling?
I think we came for the... This is very loud.
Oh, it's loud in your ear?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do something about that. Try that. How's that? Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just reduced the levels a little bit. I'm hoping. Okay. So, how long have you been curling? You came to one of the Learn to Curls, and when was that?
Yeah, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't remember. Like
before or after the holiday?
After.
Okay, so since January-ish, somewhere in like 3 months. And you decided to come on and become what we call a greenhorn, a new Learn to Curl member. And how have you enjoyed it?
I liked it a lot. Everyone's really friendly.
Sometimes too friendly because they slap headphones on your head and tell you to start talking. But what have you enjoyed about the game? What's your favorite part of doing this?
I think that it's more attainable to like my own skills. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I had to be doing this for 20 years to even participate at all.
Absolutely. I mean, doing it for 20 years certainly gives you an edge over somebody who hasn't, but so how did you find out about Nutmeg Curling Club?
I think it was on Facebook.
One of our Facebook ads.
Like I think what is it? The Learn to Curl thing.
Yep.
Oh, it was about we came when the Olympics were still on.
We made a big push to try and get folks in.
Yeah. So they had the Facebook event or something they found online and they wanted to
Oh, nice. So you came with a bunch of friends?
Yep.
Are they all curling this weekend too?
Yep. Amy and Rick are out there right now.
Amy and Rick are out there. Where are Amy and Rick?
That's Rick with the glasses.
Okay.
And Amy's sweeping.
Amy's down there sweeping.
Yeah.
Oh, Amy's playing with Robert Kwan. Amy and Rick are playing with Robert?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like them. I lost to them yesterday. They're nice folks, but I did not like playing them. Oh, that's sad for me.
Yep, and then Kristen should be coming here any minute. I can give her these.
Well, you don't have to stay on any longer than you want to. There's a number of folks in the warm room who love to jump on, but I definitely want to talk to some of the new curlers and find out what they were experiencing and how they were enjoying. Now, the Bonspiel environment, this tournament, is real different than anything you guys have done so far because you guys have been mainly doing leagues and learn to curls and stuff like that. How have you enjoyed that? Is this environment better? Are you liking this kind of party, big, spend all day at curling kind of environment?
Well, I really am spending all day here. I was here at 8 a.m. And again, I'm here until probably 11.
The director has joined us with his hand on the hips because he's going to be here for 17 of the 24 hours that occur on this Saturday.
Plus the first two of tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's going to be here from 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. So his sympathy level right now is not really there.
He doesn't have one anyway.
He doesn't have one anyway.
She thinks I'm a mean person.
She thinks you're mean.
She says I am unapproachable.
Uh-huh.
And she says I am not sociable.
Okay.
Go.
Are you expecting me to confirm or deny these things?
I want your opinion.
I'm going to plead the fifth. The director is a wonderful person, and I'll give him this. He has grown this year as a curler in that he has not complained once about how much he hates curling. By December of last year, he was wandering around muttering to himself, I hate this game. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Can't do this. It took him all the way till February to March to get there this year. So, and he's running this event. He's doing a fantastic job, I would say.
Yeah, he doesn't know what time the food's coming. But
What food? Oh, dinner? You don't know what time dinner's getting here?
he didn't know what time any time we were eating.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway. Ooh, we're up to 5 viewers because I had to reset the stream. I did not get the timing right. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on the ice. Jarena, let's get your insights on some stuff. Let's go to sheet B. That's okay. I want to hear what you think and what you see.
Okay.
So let's go to sheet B. This is the Walker versus Bob Baroni match. Bob is throwing red, and it would appear Bob has the hammer, but he's getting ready to throw his first shot. Right now, it looks like one yellow. Just from a new player's perspective, you're Bob getting into the hack right now. Where would you want to put the stone?
Well, probably where he's doing it right now because he's trying to get, like, hit. I don't know which one that one.
So the front yellow, the yellow that's in the front 8. And if you hit it just the right way, you could potentially split them out and send them both out.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does here. He just delivered the stone. It's pretty heavy. The sweepers are on it. And it's coming into view. Here we go. Oh, he hits his own guard. Okay. I think that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the other sheets. I don't have a sheet A zoom in, so we'll just have to go with the overview. And there's a bunch of yellow already in the house. And that's Jack Miller's squad. Let's see what Jack does here with his stone. I think he's probably just going to try and curl in behind those guards or create another guard. It's light, so it's definitely another guard. It's just over.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in on C. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of stones in front of the house.
Yeah.
Robert Kwan with yellow is sitting 2, and he's getting ready to deliver his last stone. He does not have the hammer, and it looks like he's going to try and draw in.
We won the whole thing, but we don't remember it. Because of the way.
And he's going to follow it down because he's not real sure about the weight on this. He wants to make sure his sweepers know what to do.
Close the bar.
And you know what? Because he doesn't have the hammer, I think he's just trying to put something in the way.
Close the bar because we ended up being in the final,
But it does not quite sneak over, unfortunately. So now that'll leave a shot for Giuseppe to try and get in here. And if Giuseppe can get to the 4 foot, he can get the point. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
Wait, there's 2 boys out there. Which one am I aiming at? You know?
We have some picture taking going on. So, Jarena, I'm going to let you in a little secret.
Yeah.
Because you were kind enough to join me up here on the broadcast. Have you done the scavenger hunt yet?
I only have like one answer.
I know the answer to number 10.
Kristen, go get one of the
Oh,
papers.
except for.
Wait, whose is this? Give me another one.
Give me a fresh copy, darn it.
No, give me one that has some answers but no one's ownership on it.
Oh, number 10.
Is it you?
It is not me, but I know who it is, and I'm going to tell you who it is. But I will neither confirm nor deny that I am the answer for number 10.
I don't know who that person is. I've never
Right.
seen them in my life.
Yeah. Well, you were kind enough to jump on here and you were drafted, so least I can do. I might even, well, we're doing a scavenger hunt. Okay, so folks who are listening to this, we're doing a scavenger hunt for the new folks to meet some of the old folks. What else on there are you guys stumped on? Like, you have no idea where to go.
I would say got bitten by a penguin.
The man who was bitten by a penguin is playing right now on sheet B.
We'll have them put it on at the church and the speakers.
Grab. Is it this one?
Sheet B is the center sheet. I'm actually pointing right at the individual.
Yeah,
I don't know what his name is. Oh, it's...
Well, you don't need to know his name. You just need to go talk to him.
Okay. Gotcha.
His name might be Brian. It might be Brian.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's actually a professor from Fairfield University who does research on penguins.
Oh,
Yep. Funny enough, we have 2 professors in our club from Fairfield U. Where is Craig Steffen? He's not playing. Where's Craig? But he is one of them, and Craig is the other. So.
Gotcha. I mean, I will say, just from reading this, everyone's so different.
Yes.
I want to know the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire contestant.
That player is here. Hold on, I'm trying to eyeball him. Again, I'm not going to give away answers, but I will give hints. He is not curling currently. Oh, he might have stepped out.
Yeah, there's all the barbecue stuff out there.
The hint I will give you is he is a skip. He is skipping in this event. And he will be here throughout the weekend. And if I see him, I will point at him, but I don't see him currently. Anyway, back to the curling. Let's update folks on what's been going on because we're all on the second end across all sheets. Over on sheet C, it is 2-0 in favor of yellow, which is Robert Kwan's squad. Over on sheet B, there's no score up, so I can't tell you what's happened yet. And sheet A has no score up, so I can't tell you what's happened yet. So, Jarena,
Yeah.
if someone was watching this and they've never curled ever, what would you tell them? Is it worth coming down to try? Should they be scared? I mean, a lot of people are scared to just step on the ice in general. They think they're going to fall and break their neck or make a fool of themselves. What would you tell those folks?
I told them to just come and try it because everyone is really appreciative here and wants people to actually learn and appreciate what it is.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when you're watching on TV, it doesn't look that athletic.
Oh my gosh.
Athletic.
Sweeping is so cardio.
Yeah, my neck was drenched from sweat the other day. And then just
No, go ahead.
like just the amount of thinking that has to go and coordinating and taking so much stuff into account, like how many rocks have gone on the ice before yours,
Right.
and then what you want to do, what your skip wants to do.
It's a very thinking, strategical game. Strategical is not a word, but
It's fine.
I'm working. What do I know? Oh, there's Mr. Stefan. The gentleman with the beard is another professor from Fairfield U. He's a chemistry professor, although you would never know it.
Tie-dye guy?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Chemistry, really?
He's a chemistry professor, yeah.
I think like sociology or like art.
Nope. Hard science. You never think it, but it is. All right, we got score updates on B. Yellow scored 1, and that would be, I believe, yes, Brian Walker's squad. So they got 1 in the first end. And we got 1 yellow on the first end over in A, and that would be Jack Miller's squad. A lot of folks in the warm room right now, which doesn't make a lick of sense to me because it's so nice outside. If I could broadcast this from outside, I absolutely would be.
I love the coordinating of the outfits for the hats on B. They all have red hats on.
Did they do that intentionally?
Yeah, I think so.
I had not noticed that, and I did not know that they did that.
Yeah, that's like tie-dye guy had his whole... yesterday they were all tie-dye.
They're all wearing tie-dye.
Yeah.
I did not notice that either. That'll happen sometimes, particularly when teams travel. So I'm going to make the jump and assume you guys are going to do this going forward a little bit. Has anyone talked to you about the opportunities to travel and see some of the other curling clubs yet?
They mentioned some stuff, but not detailed.
There's some great curling clubs out there. There's some great events that are limited to folks with new experience. They call them 5 and unders. So you can't have more than 5 years of curling experience and play in these tournaments. Great experience. If you decide to play curling beyond this year, absolutely look into them. Take your friends with you. You've got 3 other friends curling with you, right?
Yep.
That's a team.
I know.
Who's that behind you? Who's eating a hamburger?
Kristen.
Kristen. Hi, Kristen. We will let her eat.
Me. Yeah.
So Kristen should know that Jarena was drafted. She didn't even get asked. They just slapped headphones on her and said, "Here, go talk to Britt."
The person who loves to prove that they're not a mean person.
All right, let's update what's going on here. Near C, wow, there's a lot of guards, and that's not going to hit any of them. So Robert and Giuseppe setting up a lot of traffic right now, but nothing in the house. So Robert's going to say, let's put something in the house. And this is one of your friends. I remind me of his name, Rick?
Rick, yep.
Yes, I'm bad with names, by the way. If you were not, I have looked at your name tag at least 5 times since we've been talking.
Oh, people already told me you messed it up yesterday.
What did I say yesterday?
I don't know. They said that I heard from them and mean person.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I am bad with names. I will be the first to to admit it. It's funny because one of the things we do outside of curling is a buddy of mine and I have a podcast for football. And when we get to the draft time, when all these kids are coming out of college, and you're saying names like Foley Fudusaki, you know you're getting it wrong. So I apologize to Jarena.
Yeah. Oh, you got it right. We're good. We're good.
So let's jump over to Sheet A really quick, because I do want to send a shout out. Erin Harris is over there playing on Sheet A today. And she wanted me to say hi to Sonny and Bodie. They're back in Texas, and they are watching us today. So thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Bodie. Texas is outside our region in terms of curling, but when you're a little older, if you want to try it, I'm sure there's some clubs somewhere in Texas you can try. Our region is basically the eastern seaboard, so we don't really know much outside of Florida through Maine. At least I don't. I'm sure some people here do. Oh, look at that shot. It's going to bump the red back. It's going to take the yellow out the back. And now it looks like one red, but that red's in a precarious position. I'll say that 3 times fast, particularly after having a beer. And I think Jack is going to try and sit in front of it and then use it later. I want to go back to Sheet C really quick because the mess in front of the house has gotten messier. And here comes another stone that's actually, I think, a little lighter than they want it to be, and now it's a bigger mess.
What are they going to do with this?
Well,
They're just going to break it up.
I think no, and I'll tell you why. Because there's space between those 2 yellows on the bottom half of the screen that they can just get through. As long as they have that option to move through there, they're going to try and use it. So now it looks like Giuseppe is going to try and move through that hole and into the outer rings in an effort to set up 2 or more because he has the hammer. So let's see where this goes. I mean, so far in Sheet C, there's just been a lot of mess. Oh, this is a little wider than he wanted. And let's see where this goes. This might actually promote.
Oh.
And Giuseppe's like, stop, Stone, stop! Stop it! And it's going to go out.
If I can remember. Yes, I do. I got
Well, it's going to stick around, but it's not going to count. Now, if you put a stone in the middle of that hole, that's when you start moving stuff around. But as long as you have a path, you use it.
Are we able to help?
No. You're not allowed to do this. Only greenhorns. La 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 la. Cheater. You cheater. And your hint is the penguin person is playing right now. The penguin biter or bitee is playing right now.
Can't give other people hints.
What's that?
Can't give other people hints.
I gave you the name, so I can at least give him that.
No, I thought that was something special between us.
Well, I gave you 10 outright.
Oh, I need more now.
Okay, well, pick a number. Tell me something. I'll give you another hint.
I bet the first one.
What are we working on here?
The first one's gonna
I just yelled, by the way. The reason I got off the headset for a second was because I was yelling at Sean Main. He was taking part in the scavenger hunt, and he knows the answers. What if I told you number 7 was sitting right behind me?
I know who makes their own wine.
Go talk to him.
Let's try that one. Kristen comes over.
There you go. Meanwhile, we're on Sheet A, but I'm going to show you Sheet C because it is still just a mess of stones. So many stones. But now we're up to skip rock. So now, here comes Giuseppe. He's going to try and get through that hole and undercover.
Oh yeah, you put this on me. I don't know anything. Yeah. I'm selling it. I look like I know what I'm talking about. All right.
One question. What's the area in front of the house called? Guard zone. Or in front of the house, in front.
That makes sense.
Oh, Giuseppe plugs the hole.
Refills?
Now we literally just have a wall of stones.
2 roads.
There is 10 stones in front of the house right now. 10 stones.
And what's left?
Each skip has 1 left. So now it looks like Robert is going to try for a promote or to sneak in through this smaller port over here.
2 roads.
Whoever's drinking Road to Ruin, I salute you, because I'm drinking Road to Ruin. So when do you play again? Do you play again tonight, you said? Late?
I might late tonight. It's supposed to be 10:45. But I might have Amy sub in for me because my back hurts.
Oh, you don't want to mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly if you guys win at 10:45, that means you have a draw tomorrow, and you want to be fresh for that draw tomorrow.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just like I can't do sweeping well with my back like that. And I'm a two-toe.
Well, take it easy on yourself. This is a recreational sport. This is not something like, this is not a pro sport right now. So we're staying on sheet C. Robert Kwan is delivering his last rock. I'm not sure if he's going for the promote or the draw through the narrow port. It looks like the promote. It looks like it's a little light, though. Here it comes. Got to get that in.
No.
It does not make it in. So now we have 11 stones in front of the house.
You know it's going to be really sad if none of them get any in the house.
That's called a blank, and sometimes you do that on purpose. There are situations where if you have the hammer and you think you have a better chance of getting 2 to 3, you just have bad luck this end, you blank the house, take the 0, and try again.
Gotcha.
Hammer only switches when the team scores.
Oh. So do you have to make up that round?
No, it just goes down as a 0.
Okay.
And there's a realistic chance we're going to see a blank here, because unless Giuseppe gets this stone in, which is the hammer, we're looking at a blank. Meanwhile, over here on sheet A, we've got a lot of stones in the house, and it looks like it's 2 yellow at the moment. Jack Miller is playing yellow, and he has got a lot of experience in this tournament. Oh, here comes Giuseppe's stone. He's releasing right now, and it's coming heavy.
That's such a tight spot to get him red.
It is. Absolutely. He's got to hit this at a perfect angle and perfect weight. And here it comes. Here it comes. It's tapped in. It's going to be 1 red.
Wow.
1 red after all of that. And so the score on C after 2 ends will be 2-1 in favor of yellow and Team Kwan. Meanwhile, over here on sheet A again, Jack Miller gets ready to deliver.
Gained some weight over today.
When's your next match?
So how were you assigned this job?
I drew the short straw. Well, broadcasting is a relatively new thing to Nutmeg. And we're working on trying to train some broadcasters. And I was identified as the positive broadcaster because we don't want to disparage people on a weekend rather, where there's a lot of folks who are new. So they were like, we're going to put the positive guy on headset as often as possible. What's that?
Who's the negative guy?
I don't think there's any negative guy. There's some folks in our club who are a little bit more experienced, who are a little more critical. You know, I mean, I tend to say things like that stone didn't go where they wanted it to go. Other people say, "Oh, that's a miss."
Gotcha.
It's just about being upbeat and positive, you know.
I appreciate
Because
that.
there's over 80 new players in this tournament. We want the majority of you to stick around. We understand not everyone will, but we want to sucker everybody we can into the curling club that we can. So,
No, I got that vibe.
yeah, absolutely. We're very inclusive. We're a great group. We want folks here.
Yeah, what did they say? Our last game wasn't that great. I forget what they were saying. They were saying some euphemism for curling, and the mean person came up and was like, "That means that you suck." I was like, "Thanks."
No, it's supposed to be a very sportsman activity. It's just like in golf. I was talking about this during the early broadcast. These are really the two sports that the Scots invented, and they invented it mainly to have something to do and to drink. That's it.
I'm down with that.
You know, and so it's a sport that's really designed about being sportsmen. You want to show good sportsmanship and really show what's positivity. Some folks take these things very seriously. Some folks are a little more critical. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. In the bigger bonspiels, there are such a thing as a cash spiel, in which the entry fees are higher and there's actually cash payouts for where you finish. Those are very competitive, and the criticism flies. But that's not this.
Yeah.
I want all of our new members to come to play, to eat, to drink, and to have a good time. That's it. That's our goal this weekend. So
It's a good goal
we
to have.
we have a measure in progress on sheet A.
Oh.
They're taking a good long look at this, to the point where Dave Schultz has sat down over on sheet A. We had some tabletop cornhole going on.
I love those pants.
There is a website. So AJ Hippias is the one wearing the checkered pants right now and helping with the measure. I can't remember the name of the site, but there's a website where you can get terrible golf pants. Where's Tony Bonafuca? He knows this. He's not here. There's actually a website they looked at and showed these terrible pants. Let me see if I can find it in our history. Because I was looking at it yesterday.
There's a girl with like cat leggings on yesterday.
Might be from the same spot.
Maybe.
So a measure in progress on A. We're watching that very carefully. And it looks like yellow is the point. So more points for Jack Miller. Let's go to the wide zoom. All right, so just to update everybody through two ends, it is 2-1 over on C in favor of Team Quan, who is yellow. Over on sheet B, it is 2-0 in favor of Team Walker over Bob Baroni's team. And I'm waiting for the score to be posted on A so I know what's going on.
But I just ordered 19 cheeseburgers.
What did I just mention?
I ordered 19 cheeseburgers.
You ordered 19 cheeseburgers? On one bun.
And they're going to put it on a steak. And
So, for those of you who know Mike Hope, and there's a lot of you watching who know Mike Hope,
no.
Mike Hope has just ordered 19 cheeseburgers on one bun from the grill area. While you guys were on the ice, by the way, I was reminiscing about our trip to the Bondsqueal.
With the hats.
With the hats. Sean Main just reminded me of the hats. Mike Hope wore a hat like a sheik. And every time he had to call a shot, he would have to get the chic cowl out of his face. So he would put the broom down and go like this. And it was hysterical.
And then I wore the tunic, right?
I don't remember about a tunic.
I'm wearing a tunic and nice. Tune in, folks.
There it is. Tune in for Mike Hope's tunic.
Throwing gladiators on the ice.
What were you wearing? What hat were you wearing?
I was the Spartan.
That's right. You had like a Roman Spartan general hat on. I had the Sherlock. Yes, with the spike on it. I had the Sherlock Holmes hat. Man, was that a fun trip. I wish I remembered more of it. Anyway, back to curling. Sorry about that. It's the Blarney guys. I mean, we're having a good time.
So where were you? You were here on Thursday.
No, I took Thursday night off. I slept and hydrated because I knew it was going to be a long weekend. Aaron approves.
Stayed. I had my mom found out about the YouTube link.
Okay.
So she was watching. She
Good.
had a bunch of my aunts and uncles watching.
Good.
And they're like, "Where's the sound? There's no sound on it."
That's the bad part when we don't have broadcasters. And the broadcasters that were on, God bless them, didn't know how to use the YouTube controls. So they were able to change camera angles, but that was it. And I'm sitting at home going, I should have drove down there.
Should have.
I guess I should have.
Yeah, I think she watched yesterday too.
Well then, hi, Mom.
He has his 19 cheeseburgers.
Wait, where's the other 18? He says there were 19 that were fun. What number am I?
Yeah, then we'll go play a game I'm good at. Okay.
We have signatures going on.
Hey, Bill, are you the...
I can't believe that Sean Main is helping out his greenhorns and hasn't figured out number 10.
Oh, wait, yeah. What is it? Yeah, pass this over.
Number 10 is right in front of you. Read it.
Have him sign that.
I did not. I just introduced myself.
I'm going to go off mic for a second here real quick.
Oh, I want potato salad. I can't eat with this. Do you want to take over? Okay. Yeah, he literally came up and put them on my hand.
So this is my friend Drake.
Okay, so Jarita has taken this opportunity to sneak off the headphone and give it to Aaron.
I got you.
Aaron, welcome to the broadcast.
I'm Kristen.
Why do I keep calling you Aaron?
That's all right.
Because my beer is empty. That's it. Kristen, welcome. Sorry about that.
you.
I am
No.
historically bad with names.
Good with faces, I'm sure.
Usually. All right. Kristen, this is your first year as well, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is my first year.
So I'm going to run you through the same ringer I ran Jarina through, which is mainly what brought you to curling?
Well, we were looking for a winter sport to kind of pass the time and make winter, I don't know, a little bit more fun.
Tolerable?
Yeah, tolerable, exactly.
There's incentive.
We wanted to do something social where we could meet some new people.
Uh-huh.
So far, this is definitely checked all the boxes that we wanted to.
What have you liked most about it?
I think the fact that second ever felt incredibly comfortable with everybody around us, and learning a new sport can be really, really intimidating, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a club environment. It's really just about and people enjoying themselves, enjoying the game, you know. So I'm glad. That's great. That's great. So, in terms of on the game, what have you enjoyed doing? Do you like delivering? Do you like sweeping? What's your favorite part of this?
I think everybody's favorite part is the delivering, especially as newbies. You want to practice that as much as you can.
Yeah.
But the sweeping is something that I think I'm getting down a little bit more too, and it's definitely a good workout. So I've enjoyed both.
We do a lot of work here at Nutmeg around delivery, but we don't do a lot around sweeping. We actually do clinics around sweeping during the off season because it's such an important part of the game that we don't really address for new members. We're so worried about making sure folks don't fall over and get comfortable with sliding. So, and who are you playing with this weekend?
Nigel, Karen, and Johnny.
Oh, nice. Oh, Nigel's a great player. We love Nigel. Where is Nigel?
We've got a good team.
I'm sorry, what's the question? I'm getting pulled by the warm room here.
Have you recently attended a Connecticut board game convention, sir?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Whoa. You have signed the paper?
Oh, I've been outed as one of the answers on the quiz. There you go. Enjoy. All right, so just to reset what we're looking at right now, we're looking at the far end of the ice. We're looking at 3-0 on sheet A in favor of Team Miller. He's got off to a hot start. Over on sheet B, we're looking at 2-0 in favor of Team Walker as he's delivering his first skip rock. And over on sheet C, I'm looking at a bunch of stones in a 2-1 game in favor of Team Quan. So let's ask Kristen again. I'm bad with names. I'm trying.
No, good.
Oh, damn, my question just flew out of my head. How much of the strategy have you been able to pick up so far?
I think there are definitely a lot of elements to kind of take into account when you're watching it on TV and on the Olympics. You don't really realize how much actually goes into it and how much can affect the outcome of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So anything from the amount of times that a rock has gone over the ice and that makes the rock move quicker. You've got to kind of take that into account. You've got to adjust your weight as the game goes through. The amount of spin that you put on the rock can definitely affect where it winds up. So there is quite a bit of strategy that I think that I've learned so far.
Absolutely great. That's fantastic. We're glad to have you aboard.
We're super happy to be here.
So you play late tonight as well?
Yep, 10:45.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's all right. I could think of worse things to be doing all day.
Yes. And that's the big thing about the Bonspiel environment. When you travel to other clubs, you're in a city you probably don't know. And if it's a city in the middle of nowhere, like some of the clubs are in places like Utica and Schenectady where, no offense to those cities, but there's not exactly a ton to do on a Saturday afternoon in Utica if you don't know the city. It's a great way to hang out and really kind of meet some new people and really enjoy the environment. So we're glad to have you guys today.
Oh, I'm super happy to be here.
I'm so happy you guys are here. Oh, shot coming in on sheet A. It's going to just miss the front red, but it's going to redirect and roll in. And, wow, look what I found for Jack Miller. He went after that front red and ended up with a second yellow in the house. Meanwhile, over on sheet B, Brian is going to try and draw in. This is his last stone, but he does not have the hammer. He's going to try and draw in to make it a little bit more difficult for Bob Baroni's squad. I mean, that would be a potential for him to steal two, and he'd put him up 4-0 after 3. Meanwhile, on sheet C, we have Giuseppe Russo's last stone getting ready to be delivered. So let's show there. Let's show far C right now. This is what the house looks like right now. A lot of stones in play on here on C in general.
That's a sign that the Greenhorn League is pretty effective.
Oh, there's no question the Greenhorns have been, even in just the last day and a half, have gotten way better. I mean, there's so much...
We've only had 3 lessons, and from where everybody looked at the beginning to where we look now, it's like night and day.
Now, in those lessons, did you guys play in game environments, or was it really just practicing your skills?
It's both. So we probably take at least the first hour and a half of each lesson to learn more skill stuff, and then we spend the latter half of the lesson in a game.
So how many ends do you usually get in?
I want to say maybe six ends.
So this is pretty much the full game environment that you guys are learning for the first time.
Yes,
I mean, you've done it a little bit, but not to the extent of this where you walk right out and you're going straight into gameplay.
Yeah.
So this is very different, and I'm glad you guys are getting this experience because I think it's key.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just to how much you'll learn, but how much you enjoy the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A couple of us, Adrian and I, weren't even playing last night, and we just wanted to kind of come and hang out with everybody and watch. So we feel like we're right at home.
Great. That's exactly what we want you guys to feel like. We want you guys to feel comfortable here. So right now we're looking at sheet C, and it looks like it is 1 yellow is the count right now, and here comes the hammer from Robert Kwan. He needs to get... Where is he going? He's going way out there. Is this not the hammer? No, this is hammer.
Strategy.
He's thinking something I don't see. Oh, he hits the red. I thought he was going to draw right in there and just get inside the 12-foot, but I think what he actually... Yeah, I think what he actually did was bump that red up to 1, and we might have a tie match. Let's go over to B really quick because they have Bob Blarney Stone coming into play. And Bob looks like he's trying to tap up. He's going to sneak through there. Oh!
I'm really bad.
You need anything? You want another one?
And that was Hammer, and Bob is going to give up one more to yellow. And Brian Walker is slowly but surely trying to chip away. And that'll give him a 3-0 lead over on sheet B. I can't show you sheet A on a near one, so let's go to the far view, and there's just a whole bunch of stones in play there.
I was in retirement services now, but now I'm working for a couple of which is up, right?
That's fun.
Yeah. No, you're coming back.
Maybe.
Stuck on there.
Maybe. Hey, look, it's Sean Main. He's going to come over and join the broadcast for a minute or two. He is so excited to come join us.
It's too nice to be broadcast. I'll broadcast from outside.
You can do that, but you still got to talk to Kristen.
I'll look on.
Sean, have you met Kristen? Kristen, Sean.
I saw. No, I don't think I have. Nice to meet you.
I'm going to sign off for like 5 minutes just to use the restroom and get a brownie because Tim told me, A, the brownies were delicious and they were not laced with pot.
They're not special?
No.
That's the point.
In that case, yeah.
And if I'm taking advice on brownies, I'm taking it from a guy who looks like a young David Crosby. So here we go. It's Sean Main jumping on with Kristen. Here we go.
They shut down most of my life. Thank you.
Hello, Nutmeg Nation.
Yeah, I still play sometimes.
I am not sure how to work the cameras on here. So we are looking at where people are delivering, I think. Oh, no, I think we're looking at far A because we don't have the far A camera. But, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on what is going on because I have been at my table. I just came off the ice a little while ago. And we have yellow shooting their last shot on sheet A, and they are, looks like they are number 2, maybe number 3.
You can wait 10 days to clear, that's fine, whatever. They're like, I don't know about this. I'm just like,
Watch her do it. She just goes into it. Like, she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't like sit and look at anything. She just like goes.
So, looks like it was a hog on sheet A.
Yeah, let's go a little first.
So how have you been enjoying your experience here so far?
We've all been really loving it. We weren't sure what to expect when we started out, but everybody here has been great. Even when I'm not here, I'm kind of like itching to practice, sort of thing. So it's been an absolutely fun time.
Yes, it's great to have all these, eager people coming in and wanting to be a part of our club. It's something we haven't had this many new people probably since the club started. So it's exciting to see another influx of a lot of people. So that's great to see. And hopefully all of you want to stay. So that's
definitely. And we were told there are 30 greenhorn lakes. Or 30 greenhorn teams for the,
30 teams, yeah. Yep. Most made up of greenhorns, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a Blarney Stone having 30 teams, so it's a lot of teams. I give credit to Eric and Larry and their committee for putting this together. Yes.
That's 2 wins.
How many teams are there usually? How many teams at Blarney Stone are there usually?
I would say that we run around. I mean, I run the club challenge. So if you guys are around next year at the Christmas time around, we do another in-house bonspiel that's called the club challenge. And we usually run around 10 to 14 teams. So I'm going to guess that that's probably around the same for the Blarney Stone.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is double.
Wow. So, just so I'm aware of the terminology, Bonspiel is just a general name for a competition sort of thing.
For a curling competition, yeah.
Gotcha.
Ben like that.
Where it's like this, a lot of matches, a lot of people hanging out, a lot of socializing and having a good time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, the best part is going to those bonspiels early on and just meeting people, learning, and then you have friends in other places of the United States, that you didn't have before and you would never have met unless you were a curler. So
it's definitely a tight-knit community from what I can say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see. So I'm thinking now that on YouTube we have the near B. And they crashed on their guard, so see if we can go to near C here. So near C we have a 3-2 game. Yellow has hammer. So yellow is trying to draw around. Just quite didn't get there.
So I think from what I've learned, the rock should, from the time that you let it go, spin 3 times around by the time it reaches the house.
Yeah, the rotation on the rock, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you want enough rotation to where it stops rotating and then it can do like a knuckleball. It could go anywhere. Mm-hmm. And then if you do it too much, it's just going to spin and not curl at all. So
Gotcha.
there's that spot in between, whether it's 3 rotations around the ice or 4 or 5 or whatever, but you don't want it to go so fast that you're not going to get any curl, or so little that you're going to get a snake that can go anywhere. So
This man Spinnernomics for Sean Name.
Spinnernomics, yeah, there we go.
I will believe you should have done eating the cheeseburger.
Okay.
Oh, I'm good. I do love M&M's though. Thank you.
Oh, we all love M&M's. But I'm gonna take the York peppermint patty.
Alright, that's my man Rick down there at Shoot C.
Throwing it down. Looks like he's online.
The weight looks good.
Well, they're off and on. When the sweeper, when the sweepers are off and on, that usually means something good. But I think they were not quite where they wanted to be. Yeah. So I think Robert was having him do a Plan B shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't going where he was. So he was thinking, okay, this will help us too. Let me call them to sweep for this shot instead. So that's one of the things that skips have to do on the fly sometimes. When you play with a team a little bit more often, the Plan Bs are a little bit more planned out.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
it could be, okay, if we don't do this, this is a possibility here too if it does this. So you have a little bit more planned out shots. When you're in a tournament like this, new players, no fault of their own, they're new, they're learning. Shots can go, different places. So you kind of have to be like, okay, this is happening, so let me see if I can do this. So you have to be kind of like always thinking of other shots as you're calling the shot that you want.
Gotcha.
Lets it go. Looks like he's a little wide of what Robert wanted, but it might be going around this way. Looks like he's going to clear out another of their guards. Ooh, maybe. Oh, it ended up ticking their yellow guard, so it ended up actually knocking the red into the house for the number 3 shot. So the red is sitting 1, 2, and 3.
So how long have you been curling?
I have been curling at the club for, is it, I thought it was 12. Isn't it 12?
12.
It's 12. So when the club opened in Bridgeport, I missed half a season, but still joined that year, so. Britt gives me too much credit.
The club president called you the natural
Some people are born to do it. Some people are born to curl.
So 12 years, yeah, we've been, that me and
Both of you
Britt.
12 years.
Yep, me and Britt have both been
Oh.
curling for 12 years.
Nice.
Yes, Britt dragged me here, kicking and screaming. Basically, it was me saying that no, I already bowl, so and play softball.
Similarities.
And play softball. So if I do this, I'm just gonna get addicted, and then I'm gonna have to do all 3. And
Then we just retired from bowling.
Have you continued with the bowling? Because that's another winter sport.
I did for up to about 5-6 years ago.
And curling went out.
And curling won out because it was cheaper, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. It's cheaper than bowling. Granted, you don't get to win money back in bowling, but it depends on the whole team, you know, for bowling. So
Nice.
I could spend $900 on one night a week for bowling, or I could spend, but you have a chance to win, and you could win back more than you spent in bowling. But curling, I know I'm spending this much, and I get to do it as many days a week as I want. So
You're right. You know exactly how
This
much
one
in your
out.
bank account. Yeah.
and don't regret it at all. It's a great sport and love it.
A
So,
lot of cool people.
and it's a lot more of a team sport than bowling. You're on a team in bowling, but it's not as much of a
Right.
team sport. You know, it's you
There's
and the
a lot more
pins.
interaction with your
Yeah.
teammates. Oh yeah.
Still love bowling, but
On the side.
on the side, yeah.
There's a lot of people that I like to watch that I find really impressive, but Robert Kwan in particular. He's
Robert
so
Kwan
cool
is
to watch.
is very smooth and very
Calculated almost.
good
Yeah.
curler. Yes,
Delivery and a strategy expert,
yes.
without question. Not that other people aren't. That's just where he's very, very strong.
Oh yeah.
Oh, came by a little bit. They needed a little tick. They had gotten a little tick, that would have been perfect, but unfortunately, it scooched by that other yellow and is still sitting. It is saying 3rd shot. So he did cut them down 1. He did cut them down. Yeah, cut them down 1. And then on B, we're going for a takeout. He gets it by the guard and hits it out. Sits behind the yellow. That's a very good shot.
All right, if you wish to be excused, otherwise keep going. Keep talking. You're doing great. I'll bring you a drink. What do you want?
No, you brought me drinks before and it ended up badly.
It was too strong or too weak?
Too strong.
I didn't mix them.
Too strong.
Nothing wrong with too strong.
What are you doing?
Road to Ruin.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take a Road to Ruin. In a plastic cup.
I'll bring the bottle and we can dump it in.
Okay, sounds good.
So the whole points thing is still something that I'm kind of wrapping my head around, but
Okay.
you get more points if you're in the button. As opposed to...
Nope.
No,
No.
okay.
It's just the number of stones out counting their closest stone. So if you have 2 stones outcounting their closest stone, you get 2 points. If you have only 1, it's 1 point. More, up to 8, obviously, because there's only 8 stones. So if they have nothing in the house and you have all 8 in, you get 8 points.
And so is the ring, so the blue ring and the red ring, or is that considered in the house, or is that inside that in the white area?
Once it hits that top ring, it's considered in the house.
Okay, so even if
anything
it's like
that's touching,
that blue ring.
yep, yeah, for sheet C, blue, obviously sheet B, red. But anything that comes into that, touches that ring is considered in the house and would count as points.
Gotcha.
If none of the other stones are out counting it, yes.
Gotcha.
Scoreboard's always a problem for people, how to figure out the scoreboard. But
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, and Robert looks like he's a little heavy again, but no, it's gonna stop and he's gonna get his 1. All right, very good. Robert gets his 1. Let's see, on sheet B. Sheet B, near sheet B, we have we have yellow counting 1, but it looks like it's visible. Red counting number 2 and 3. With Mr. Baroni throwing his last shot, looks like. So he has an opportunity to score 3 here if he can get that yellow. So I already did that. To do it again. There we go. So we can see where this shot ends up. They're sweeping, they gotta get around. It's a very light takeout if it is a takeout. He needs to bump it back at least probably 2 feet, 3 feet, but he's not. Oh, he might be, it's so close. He might only be counting 1.
I see handshakes.
He might be only counting 1. So Julie, the experienced person in the house right now, is pretty sure it's only one red. So we got 1 red on sheet B. Just needed to be a little heavier there, and he would have had 2 or 3. So close to 2 right there. So now we can go to near A, because this end is finishing up. Right, and that'll make it on YouTube over there?
Yeah.
That's the stream, yeah. Yeah, sure. So we got lots of exciting close shots happening right now.
Yeah.
Are you playing another game today?
Yeah, we have to really put it.
We have on sheet A the non-hammers skips last shot for this end, and he is counting 1. So it looks like he's trying to put up a guard. They're sweeping, I'm assuming, because it's coming over too much. They stop sweeping. It looks like it went over curled. So it looks like yellow's going to have an opportunity to hit their yellow into the red to count at least 1. And it looks like, yes, if they do that, unless they can get it on the inside and knock that top red stone out over as well, maybe they can count 2. But if they do that, they might not. They're not going to take out that red stone. So they really only have a shot for 1 here. Actually, no. If they hit that yellow just right, they can get it. So.
You're right about me?
I don't know what else to do. All right, there you go.
Okay, Nutmeg Nation, I am back. My thanks to Sean Main for covering me during a brief bathroom and hamburger break. So I am back here with Kristen. Hey, Kristen, a little known fact, Sean Main is getting married in October.
Nuh-uh. Where are you getting married?
The Woodlands.
Oh, where's that? Oh,
The
very
Woodlands.
nice.
We need to get a third.
A third headset?
Yeah.
That'd be a nice idea. We need to have a headset that works out there like we have a
You know what
correspondent.
they say about too many cooks? Too many skips?
Hey, Barb Manticade is here. Hi, Barb. She can't see me.
Indian Chiefs. Exactly.
Well, we've already had too many people this weekend.
Hey, Barb. Want to say hi? How are you? I gotta get up and get Barb a hug.
Again, close-knit community right there.
Very close-knit. That's apparent.
All right, I apologize. When Barb's in the room, you got to stop and say hi to Barb. All right, well, I was in the restroom and having a hamburger, not simultaneously. I missed what happened out here, so let's see what's going
Necessary
on.
clarification.
Yes. Well, we got a tie game over here on C. We got a 3-3 game between Russo and Quan. I know exactly what that feels like until Quan drops 5 on you, and now all of a sudden you go back to the war room and you're miserable. Just
One
saying.
of my favorites to watch.
Is Robert?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can learn a lot by watching Robert Quan. I heard Sean talking a lot about his personal strategy and stuff about rotations and stuff like that. He's fantastic for that stuff. I'm glad he came on. Thank you again to Sean Main, who I think has wandered outside and realized it's like 70 and beautiful, so he's outside. Yeah, there's a ton of people just sitting around outside. It's great. Over on sheet B, this has been a war of attrition, and it's a 3-1 lead for Brian Walker. And over on sheet A, it is 3-1 in favor of Jack Miller. So all the games close, and this is the first draw where we've had this far into the game, all the games this tight.
First night we had 2 tie breaks.
2 tie breaks on Thursday night. Okay, I missed that. But, I mean, we've seen a lot of big ends in the earlier draws and some that go back and forth. But this particular draw, we haven't seen any ends bigger than 2. What does that tell you? So, Eric and Kristen, what does it tell you, Eric as an experienced curler and Kristen as someone who's learning it, what does it tell you when you start to see matches tighten up like this as opposed to earlier in the weekend when there's people taking 4 or 5 in chunks? What does that impress upon you?
To me, it says that the greenhorns are really getting a sense of their weight and how well they can deliver a rock into the house. I think after you get a little bit of a hang of it, everyone starts to kind of level out.
Eric, what do you think?
Great answer. Great answer. I'm not gonna lie. That is
What she said.
Hey.
phenomenal answer.
Yeah.
I just hope when I have to sub tomorrow that I'm without playing throwing a rock in 6 weeks.
So, really quick, Sean Main, before he walks outside, what time are you on the ice again? 5:45. Okay. All right. I want to try and get a.
Greenhorns are going to be looking a little bit better than you are.
Yes. Yes. And it's gonna be Amy and Britt.
Oh, you're subbing on their team.
I'm Robert Kwan Sunday morning.
You're subbing for Robert Kwan.
Yes.
You've got some big shoes to fill, it sounds like.
I play with Robert Kwan enough. I am not scared.
Wow. That's confidence right there.
He's not as good as people think.
He's overrated.
Whoa, what just happened? I took off the headset to coordinate
Eric's throwing
scheduling.
a little bit of shade.
At who?
At Robert Kwan, of all people.
Oh, wow.
I'm Robert Kwan tomorrow morning.
It's really nervy.
You are Robert Kwan tomorrow morning?
Robert Kwan tomorrow morning.
Oh,
And
I'm
she told me
sorry.
those are big shoes to fill.
You loved playing with Robert. So I know you're just being funny. So
But I like playing with him, not really being him.
well, no one can really be Robert except Robert. So let's take a look at some of the developing ends over here. Again, all these matches are close. B, I'm going to zoom in on far B here. A lot of guards. We've seen a lot of guards in this particular draw. I think folks are getting, like Kristen said, getting down to the weight and understanding things. That's why I called Kristen Aaron, because I have a note here from Aaron Harris. That's why I kept calling you Aaron. Aaron wanted me to say hi to Sonny and Bodie back home in Texas, which I did earlier, and I just did again. But that's for like the first 20 minutes. I was calling Kristen Aaron, and now I know why.
I am also a pale Irish girl, so if you had to guess my name,
There
I
you
would
go.
say Aaron as well.
I am also of Irish descent, so I know all about burning when you step out the door.
So how many of the greenhorns do you think are comfortable now that they don't need the stabilizer and are practicing with the broom for their balance?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to leave that to Eric because as stick curler, I don't know jack about it.
I have no idea. I have not.
As I have seen a couple people, there are a few people, a couple of the greenhorns that I've assumed were actually members of the, the Nutmeg Curling Club. And then after talking to them, they're like, no, I'm also a greenhorn member.
I do know that there are at least 8 greenhorns that tried sliding on the broom. I don't know if they've been sticking with it.
Yeah.
But it's actually pretty phenomenal because it took me 2.5 years before I switched over to the broom.
Yeah, but now you could not go back.
I would never be able. I tried it once, even doing like demonstrating for the greenhorns. I feel stupid.
Feels unnatural. So how
Bobby's
many,
in
when
the
you're in a
house.
competition, do most people use the broom or do most people use the stabilizer?
The higher end competitions, it's probably about 70% around brooms.
Okay.
Maybe a little lower than that. Ed Simia, who is our competition skip. Well,
Hold on one second. Well, you know what? This conversation going on between Kristen and the director right now is fascinating. I want him on mic. So here we go. I'm going to sit here and give my commentary off to the side.
Thank you,
I actually
Eric.
hate this.
Kristen might
I
just
hate
have
this
taken
right
over
now.
lead commentary for the entire club. These are fantastic questions. I'm so jealous.
I absolutely hate this right now.
Newbie here.
So, you were asking how many people. Ed Simia, who's our competition skip, he is one of our best curlers here, probably top 5, and he is a stabilizer curler.
Oh, okay.
Most people can't throw the weight when they are on the stabilizer. He can. So, but higher competition, it's usually on the broom. But 2 of our competitive members, Skinny Larry, who is kind of dead to me right now this weekend.
They didn't show up, huh?
He did not show up.
Okay.
He thinks another party is more fun than this party.
I don't know what he was thinking.
You're having fun, right?
We're having a ton of fun. So our draw was at 8 in the morning. Our next one's at 10:45 at night, and we're pretty much going to spend the entire day here just hanging out and partying.
Yeah, but you did leave.
I left for 2 hours. So instead of 12 hours, now we're going to be here only for 10.
I'm going to be here for 19.
Volunteered for that. That's your job that you volunteered for. Don't feel bad for you.
You hear the peanut gallery back there?
Yeah.
So you're the lead commentator now. Lead.
Oh, no, I don't think that's appropriate.
Ask someone where the pigs came from. Who made those pigs?
The pigs, because that's the hog
Who
line.
made them though?
Oh,
what-
hog line.
Yeah.
One of our members. I don't know for sure. That's not one of the questions on the scavenger hunt. So I mean, I don't need to know
That would
that.
have been a good.
That would have been.
Question.
That would have been, but we might not know the answer.
Why not? Because someone put a lot of effort into that.
It is. They are great. They are great.
I literally only put it together yesterday. I was like, these things are so random. Like, why they were placed there.
It took me 3 lessons in to realize that there are monitors. So you gotta better look at the
And the
sheets.
table is.
And that, one of the tables is actually shaped like one of the houses, yeah.
And we also have little discs underneath on the little shelf under that table, so you could actually demonstrate different. Yeah.
It's got its rickety. That's the one that goes like rocks.
That was a secret for a long time. Even I didn't know that.
Oh, we're getting insider information here.
So, do you know how to work this thing?
I have no idea. Where is Britt? I'm not supposed to be doing this.
So I'm not sure there should be a
He
beer.
went outside. He's on a.
He left it on a good. No, he just left it on a good whatever.
Yeah.
A very
We're-
general view. Yeah, that's fine.
No, if the 5 people watching have demands, I'm sure they'll text it.
So
So
it looks like
we're
everybody's on the same end now, which is good.
yeah. It looks like Brian Walker has a lot to draw behind or draw around.
Yeah, we've noticed in a couple of the other games that there were like a wall of rocks
Oh,
built
that's
up in front of the
definitely
house that are like difficult to penetrate.
that's definitely going on B right now.
Sheep B, yep.
Yeah.
I know who made them now. I know who made. Don't tell him.
It is hard at this point in the game to figure out who is a nutmeg member and who is a greenhood member.
Yeah. You greenhorns have came a long way. I think you were the one that said it. Like, you can't believe how much they improved from week 1 to week 3 of the greenhorn leagues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 3 2-hour lessons, and we look completely different.
Yeah. Welcome. You're officially curlers.
Yeah, I'm a curler, and quite honestly, I've got a lot of friends and family that are very impressed.
And they all think it's easy, right?
Well, yeah, because you watch it on TV, and the point is to get the rock into the house fine. You don't really take into account the speed that the rock's going at. You don't take into account the fact that you've got to curl it a certain amount for it to wind up exactly where you want it to be. There's a lot more that goes into it than you would think.
Absolutely. I brought 8 friends here one night to do a curling experience, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, this is easy." The first guy that did it, he just Supermaned it all the way down the ice, and I was like, "I've never seen that before. Congratulations!"
What does he mean, Superman? Like he slid all the way across the.
Well, he basically did like a slip and slide. He went with the rock and the stabilizer, both feet just dragging behind him, and he just went.
They're really good though.
Jeez.
So he's actually signed up here. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to embarrass him on air.
All right, what are we thinking about sheet C?
Sheet C.
A little bit light.
So we do have to change the sheet after B is done. But yeah, they're just putting a guard up right now. Oh no, they're
Maybe
going
it's
in the
going right
house.
into the house.
Yeah, they're sweeping into the house. Yes.
Very nice.
Right?
What?
You gotta work on your
My Canadian accent, eh? Convincing? Let's ask Karen to help us out, yeah. And I'll sound more like a natural, yeah. Eh?
So is B gonna get their rock? Are they gonna finish? Is A gonna finish with time? You know, there's so much to worry about when you're in charge over here.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at.
All right, they're all on skip rocks. I'll let them play.
Oh, it's time's up.
Yeah, we're very close. We're like a minute away from being done, so I'll let it slide.
He's got the power to do that.
Wow. The director.
The director.
Oh, look.
You just direct.
Perfect.
Have you seen Dave Bykowski? You guys love Dave Bykowski. Yesterday you told me he was your favorite curler.
Dave Bikehouse.
What does he look like?
Scandinavian.
No, he's here. Dave. Dave and Danielle?
Oh, David did. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Dave is also a favorite. Oh, Dave.
I love
Dave is right up there with Robert Kwan.
True. I love Dave.
Dave and Danielle.
I love them both.
I hope they're listening.
I hope that.
How are you guys?
I didn't know his last
Just go
name.
quiet and just let it stream.
Okay.
But it can just go.
Okay.
Or you can just keep talking about Dave. Dave's so nice.
He doesn't
Good.
want
Come
to
back,
leave his
Dave.
cornhole game. So he's busy.
He took his opportunity and ran.
So I am going to have to switch this. I don't know how is the funny part.
What are we switching to?
I'm trying to know by
There we go.
this. Just.
Are you talking about me? I hear you.
It's Justin. I know he can't.
I'm on the headphones. You're talking into the mic. I have the headphones on.
Director, guys, this is just very important, very professional. I'm nervous. I don't know what to say.
Right.
He's just so intimidating to speak to. Someone so important.
I feel like I'm being mocked right now, so I'm actually going to shut my headphones off, and I'm going to walk away.
Don't you do that. You're going to leave a novice Greenhorn League member to narrate this game?
We're just going to talk.
Well, you're going to talk strategy. You think you know it? Talk strategy.
See?
I need an experienced member's help with talking strategy. So I'm going to say sheet C. They're looking a little bit heavy.
Kristen, just go from your perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing a scrape after this, so you're close. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, maybe, no, see, I think it is a little bit heavy. Thank you, Karen.
Well, C's coming home, right? C and B are coming home.
Right.
Yeah, A was the question. It's just nutmeg curling.
I want to talk about later. Alright, let's see. Sheet B, also looking a little bit heavy. I think probably at this phase of the game, the ice is probably a little bit slipperier and we don't need quite as much weight at this point. You know what? I think I'm right. I think I'm right.
I think you found your spot here, Kristen.
The commentator. I'll take it.
I think you're really good at it.
Thanks. Is it still on?
Yeah. I don't know if it's on if that one's not on.
Is mine on? Oh, I am still on. Okay.
If that one's not on?
Put Sharina on. The two of us will commentate together.
I don't like how it makes my head feel.
Sharina,
I'm only mean
you're making me a little bit nervous.
You're mean. You're getting like your what's that? What is it called? What is it? Just desserts.
Just desserts?
Your just desserts. Have you never heard of that?
No.
It's like when you get like karma back to you, like your just dessert. Let's look it up.
No, let's talk about curling.
I'm talking about curling.
All right, so sheet C just threw a perfect rock right in the middle of the button.
But they still have a lot of rocks left, so they can just.
Yeah, so they could. They could. Red team can win
Just-
out.
Robert Kwan. Just every few seconds. Robert Kwan.
All right, so let's see. Sheet B, what are we thinking about that rock? A little heavy.
Yeah,
As
and
is
it's
rock
spinning
A.
a lot.
It's sort of like
I think at this point, weight is becoming an issue because the ice is so slippery.
Yeah, because they've been going since 8 a.m. So there's no wonder.
So is when they repebble the ice and then another set happens and people are playing afterwards, is it like as effective as if they were to pebble the ice and then like kind of let it sit overnight sort of thing, or is like if they're playing back-to-back games, is it overall a little bit more slippery?
No, because once you pebble the ice, it starts over.
Okay, so it's back to ground zero.
Now that I have the headsets off, you ask me good questions. I have the headset on. It's
We can still hear you.
Oh yeah, this is a.
You wanted to leave.
I do.
We're not worthy, Director Eric.
Bobby will actually be able to answer that a little better.
All right, so what are we
The
thinking?
purpose of the scrape.
Still, everyone's throwing a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, plus this is
I would
our
say
last.
Sheet C
Yeah.
is looking okay, but we don't want to knock the other one out of the house.
That looks like that's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Shoot. Well, no.
I mean, but they're still in a good spot.
Still 3 yellow.
Yeah, just desserts. Or a dessert, punishment, or reward.
Yeah, Joanna, it looks like it's a biblical thing.
That's why I know it.
Yeah, Catholic school. All right.
Hey,
What do we think about the rock?
it's another famous curler.
Oh, what about other favorite curlers? We're talking about all the curlers that particularly impress us. We're talking about Robert Kwan, but you're also on that list.
Yeah. Whenever you throw, you just do it so
Halfway
well.
down the sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just halfway down.
Very well
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah. Perfectly balanced. Yeah.
And sometimes I make the shot.
Every now and then, right?
And then when you slide down, like just like on your shoe just to like get somewhere, I'm like, look at her. She's floating.
So confident. Yeah.
So confident.
I would fall and break my head on the ice.
I know.
I'll get there one day.
It's my goal.
All right.
So how many rocks
far,
left?
Let's see. Well, depending on the sheet, of course.
Yeah. Well, it looks like A has a lot. They have like 3 or 4.
I feel left. And sheet B is sheet C is about halfway down.
No, I think sheet C is almost done. This just said we got another famous curler coming over and blowing their nose.
I wish there was video. Well,
I know.
we would have been great.
We should.
All right. So B. What are we thinking of this rock so far? Coming down the ice. I think it looks pretty good. They're sweeping already.
It does. Yeah.
Right,
We'll go in the house or not, though.
Let's knock red into the house. Oh, nope. All right, I think that counts. I could be wrong.
Does that count?
That was a sneeze.
Good. I like this because I want to make audio clips of my cackle.
Eric, can you put the video view on one of the sheets and one of the closer end? Oh.
It's on that.
Okay. Yep. All right. So B is coming down the ice. It looks like
That's
it's
really
crawl into
wide.
the other sheet. Yeah.
I
did that yesterday, though.
It happens.
Happens to the best and the worst of us, me being the worst.
I suppose you might.
All right, so let's do sheet A.
One's trying to
Oh, a
figure out
little bit too heavy.
Went
right?
through.
Yeah, right through. Okay, here
Robert
comes Robert
Kwan.
Kwan on sheet C. Get ready for Robert Kwan's rock on sheet C. I think that's right in the house.
This is an amazing
What
moment.
do you think? I think it's right in the house.
I think it is, but I think they might
Team
be
Red
able
might
to sweep it out. Nope.
Oh.
But it's
Another perfect rock thrown by
True.
Robert Kwan.
Look at him. He knows. He knows he just did good.
Thumbs up to Robert.
What's happening on sheet A?
What's happening at sheet A?
That rock looks like it has a good weight to it.
Look at that technique
Curling
of
inward.
that sweeping. That nice shuffle.
That's some expert sweepers.
A nice
A
guard.
lot of weight on that sweep. All right, so we have a guard. All right.
Look, he's exhausted. He knew he put a good effort in.
Something tells me that he's an expert.
It's the pants.
It is the pants.
So no, nothing else is going on right now.
Sheet C. Sheet B rather. Sheet B.
Sheet B.
We had to do that.
It looks like it's a little wide, but I think it's going to curl.
I think he's trying to have it curl into the house. Or it's not doing that.
Do we think it's going to knock the other red rock
Yeah.
closer into the house?
I think it's going to go in between them.
It's curling right in between.
Wow.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Sheet B. Sheet B, yeah.
He made it through.
Perfect rock.
Wow, who did that?
Tina.
Mina?
Tina?
Tina.
Dina. What is it?
Tina with a T.
That was the shot.
Tina.
And this is a nutmeg
Who's
member.
Tina?
That is a greenhorn.
That's a greenhorn.
What?
Yes.
See?
Do you see that spot that she got through?
Yes.
Right towards the middle. See, the
That's what you
greenhorn
have to
leg is
do.
where it's at.
Wow.
Cheers.
I got no more drink, but I need more now.
I'll wait till this is over.
Was it? That's what they
All right,
said.
sheet C could potentially knock one of the yellows right off to the side.
Oh. There goes Robert Kwan's rock.
Well, he's still got. Well, no, he's
knows.
still monopolizing the house. What's your elbow?
That was crazy.
What are we thinking for Sheepy? This rock coming down here. I think that might wind up right in the house. Right past the other yellow. Yeah.
Wow. Who did that one?
Brian Walker is a member.
And he also is an answer on there.
This is what I'm saying. You can't really tell the greenhorns from the Nutmeg members. Some of these games.
You can when I play.
We can't all
You
be
can't tell,
grand.
no, you can't tell if I'm a pedestrian or I'm in the Greenhorn League.
Pedestrian. Are your eyes open? No one knows.
Am I awake? Am I alive? Oh.
Jesus. All right. Let's look at Robert Kwan.
Look at him. Look at the form.
All right, sheet C.
Oh, he's cleaning off his rock, sweeping off any dust that might be there. He takes us very seriously, and he should. And you'll see why.
Very consistent.
Communicating with his vice, Rick Condon, life insurance, New York life insurance.
You're promoting Rick's life insurance.
Promoting Rick's life insurance. He's great if you need anything.
Let's tune over to.
No, I want to watch Robert Kwan. Look at him. Look at this
Shitty was a
form.
little bit too heavy anyway. I think his aim is to knock that red rock out.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like he's gonna do it. No. So we got a red rock out of the house, and now we've got 4 yellow, 1 red.
You should have stopped that one.
Shit, see.
That's nice.
Oh, we got a Greenhorn League member, Amy. So Zeke is coming and saying hi.
Hi, Amy.
Hello, Amy. Amy's gonna sub for me tonight, probably. Which Karen came and scouted her out and approved of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Greenhorn members scouted out.
Yeah. Drafted.
Still waiting for
Drafted
my
to
moment,
Team
yeah.
Nigel. Team Captain Nigel.
Curling drafts. Greenhorn curling drafts.
Oh, we should do a, what is that called? Like a March Madness?
Yeah.
Yeah. That technically is what this is. It's a tournament.
It's a tournament.
Yeah. But, oh no, like, you know how you do your, like, you predict, like, what it's gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a fantasy curling league.
Yeah, Fantasy and Curly League. That's what you need.
I don't think anyone would pick me, but
No, I'd pick you. You're pretty good. I mean, it depends on, like, what the pool is.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Promised you a hint on the millionaire clue. He might be standing behind me in a blue jersey.
Shut the fuck up. No. It's Dave. No, Dave. Dave's the one who's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Dave was the one? Dave.
Smart and a good curler.
Shut up. We love Dave. We were just talking about Dave. It was Dave.
I know this.
That's
You're talking to me
crazy.
as if I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know what time we have meals. Dave, what did you win? Did you win anything?
50,000.
50,000? What? When was this?
Dave won
2 years ago.
50 grand.
2 years ago?
Yeah,
Shit here.
All right.
We have the final shot.
Can I find this on the internet?
Final shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think a lot of it's on there.
It was saved on my DVR for like a year and a half until I switched cable.
No.
I would say you might be able to find on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You might be able to find. It might be tough to find. Certainly, the moment right when I get the 50,000.
What was your question?
So the
What?
$50,000 one was 3 of the top 10 most populous cities in the U.S. are named for what? European cities.
We've got 2
Presidents,
great conversations going on here, which everyone will want to
or
listen
gems.
to, but I know everyone's watching curling, so
think?
that's what I'd rather commentate on.
Oh my gosh!
So Team Red,
I didn't want to
GC,
get that. Just Dave's
serving up
approval,
their last
but
rock.
And then I missed the 100,000
Let's
the
see.
free gas, which
It's got a
was
good curl on
when the
it.
first New York Times edition
Looks
came
like
out in
the aim
1851. Who was the
could
first
be to knock
obituary?
out one of the Yellowstones.
No,
But it looks like
no.
someone knock out one of their own
No,
rocks.
he's trying to hit it and roll in.
James Fenimore Cooper, Walt Whitman.
Great
So,
shot.
so can you explain then? So is
I gotta
there?
go.
P.T. Barnum?
There's
What
nothing.
is
I
it?
debated between Whitman and
All right.
Fenimore.
Uh-huh.
It was James Fenimore Cooper.
The question was: is there more an advantage to having a
That's
redstone
so
in the button
awesome.
versus anywhere else.
Yeah, I say, Whitman, I'd forgotten when you're my friend, he goes, he's like, oh, Captain, my captain. I said,
hit off his own rock
Lincoln. I would have said PT Carter.
So the more rocks.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
The more opportunities.
It was great. It was a great time. And then recorded in Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Now I feel scored.
But by the time it airs,
Get out there, Director Eric.
So only had to pay state tax.
They're giving everybody a
That's
handshake.
awesome. That was good curling. I'm sorry, I just had an intense interview with Dave. It was amazing.
Genius Dave?
About Genius Dave, Genius curler, and just Genius Dave. Yeah, 2 years ago. This is recent.
It pays to be smart.
It does pay to be smart. $50,000.
That is amazing communication right there.
That's crazy. Yeah, they're done. We're taking a break, right?
Well, they're in knockout, so I'll take one that has
Oh, what is that? Yeah, take over, because what does that mean? Explain it to me.
Each team has each player on each team throws one stone alternating. If you touch the blue, it's 1 point. If you touch the white, it's 2. If you touch the red, it's 3. And if you put it on the button where the flag is, that's 5.
And this is because they tied.
Yes.
So in a knockout, how many rocks do you throw?
Each team throws 1.
Oh, each team throws 1, okay.
Your teammates can sweep your rock, but the other team cannot sweep it.
Robert Kwan is consulting with the director to figure out, I think, what kind of rock he's going to throw.
This is this is our creation.
This is nutmeg specific.
This is the nutmeg knockout.
What do they do what do they regularly do? They play another round, a full net. So you do this for time's sake. Gotcha.
The other thing you'll see in tournaments is what's called skip drops. So basically,
red team's going first.
Each skip throws 1 stone. Closest to the pin wins.
Yeah.
So in this case, the blue ring is 1 point, and the clear part that is 2, and in the house is, or in the button rather is 3.
No. The red is 3. The button is 5.
Red is 3, button is 5. Okay.
5.
So they have an option of either 1, 2, 3, or 5 points.
And does it matter who they can pick any person to throw, or is it
any order? But everybody has to throw them.
All right, ready? Here it comes.
Oh, everyone on the team.
Oh. It looks a little bit too heavy.
So it's like you just cut it in half. Gotcha. I thought it was just one person throws a rock. Gotcha. So everyone on the team look at him. Look at that intensity and passion. It's going to be on the blue.
We're
2 points.
We're touching the
Oh, you clear it?
circle.
You clear them?
2 points for team.
Okay. And so they clear the rocks each time. Here comes Amy Fazekas, who has been scouted for Captain Nigel's team tonight. Looking a little bit light?
No, I would say, I think it looks good. They're sweeping halfway down the sheet, so I would say it's probably.
Or they're having great input from their skip, Robert Vaughn.
Oh boy, we're overcooking it.
This looks good. A little heavy.
They overswept that.
1.
All right, 1.
Good. So there's a good line though.
2-1. All right, so the knockout is.
You stone so far, right? Okay.
No, they've each thrown 1.
Oh, they're doing okay.
1 stone each.
They're
That's
throwing more.
Yeah.
So
each team.
So right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Everyone throws 1.
Red. Red server knocks another rock.
This is intense.
This is intense.
Intense but fun. Never forget the fun. We got the positive guy over here to remind us.
I'm thinking a little bit heavy.
That looks a little hot.
They're running with it.
I can't see. It looks like it's slowing down.
I think it's slowing down.
No, I think it's going through still. Oh.
No, it's perfect. Oh, no.
No, it's not. I mean, not to be negative.
No, it's not.
One. Still a 1.
It's not 1 point.
Their director is out there keeping the official score with his fingers.
Team Yellow,
3 to 1.
At least 2 the rest of the game.
Tensions are running high. Here. Ooh, that looks really light. And she looks disappointed in herself, but she shouldn't because this is fun. It's not going to reach the hog.
3-1. 2 stones each.
But it's fine because they have Robert Kwan.
The director has not been out there. The director now he's cold.
Well, the director, if you didn't know, the director doesn't actually curl.
Oh, right. He hasn't
curls, but not in this event.
I'm hoping not.
All right. We got C Team Red serving up their 3rd round.
Well, he's subbing tomorrow on Amy's team. He's subbing for Robert Kwan tomorrow.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, which is rare because he never
big shoes to
curls. I know, massive shoes to fill. Massive grippers to fill.
Curling humor. What are we thinking? I would say it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
A little bit light.
It's spinning.
That sounds like a story for the broadcast.
Will it make it in? It's gonna make it in.
It'll definitely make it in, but how far in do we want to get?
Oh, well.
At least white.
Oh,
no.
4-1. Ooh.
All right.
Oh, some good encouragement from between the team.
Something really in the red.
Rick, we need Rick at this point.
Up next is Rick Condon, New York Life Insurance.
It's going to tie up. Rick's going to land in the red if they want to get ahead. He's going to land right in the button.
Oh, that looks really wide.
Heavy.
And heavy. I'm not sure if it's not curling.
I think it'll be okay.
Slow down and come in.
It's slowing down. Oh, look at that.
All right.
Oh, and it might be getting there. Oh, wow. Oh.
All right, we got 3 points.
3
They're
points?
tied up now.
3 points, and they're tied. 4 to 3. 4 to 3. And that was thrown by Rick Condon, New York Life Insurance. So next up is the skips. We'll be throwing.
This woman reminds me of Melissa McCarthy.
This is a very intense game.
I know. I'm surprised the director is letting them keep going.
4-4, yeah.
I know. Well, you know, they got to win. They got to win fair and square. All right, Team Red.
Team Red.
Score 4 and 4. Some death rounds.
Was it Giuseppe? Is that his name, Giuseppe? Yeah. Oh, will he?
Wade's looking good, I would say.
Yes.
They got some good sweepers.
They got some good sweepers.
Yeah.
The skips are pretty talented guys themselves.
Yeah, go.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Get it there. Get it there.
Oh.
What are we thinking?
2. They got 2.
At least 2.
They got 2. 2 points. It's in the white.
6-4, Team Red. Team Yellow.
And now Robert Kwan. Are they going to ask for a measure? Yeah. 3 points.
3. I don't see 3.
I don't see that.
Look up on the screen.
Oh, yeah, let's look. Oh, they just swept it away.
Aerial view.
All right.
Aerial view. Sounds better. And now it's Robert Kwan.
So 7-4. Robert Kwan has to, at the very least, get it into the red ring if he wants to bring it home. Right.
It's a lot of pressure, but he always has a lot of pressure on himself. I do. If I wanted anybody throwing this rock, it's Robert Kwan.
Absolutely. I put all my faith in Robert.
Robert throwing it. He can put this on the button.
He could put. Oh, he could put this on the button. He's cleaning the rock. Robert Kwan takes his craft seriously.
He was moving earlier. I'll tell you that. Well,
I don't want
This is a nail biter.
Coming towards the wall, but
I know, right? Hopefully no one obstructs my view. Oh, he's resetting. He's taking his time to perfect this throw, which needs to be perfect. But not really, because it's just fun.
It's just fun.
It's just fun.
It's very competitive.
Look at that concentration, that delivery.
Very straight line.
Where's this going?
He's got to get red, right?
They're not sweeping it. They're just going to let it go on its own.
It's really good.
Move, Rick!
Sweep! Come on, guys, sweep!
And he's in the red. That's a tie. It's another tie. And it's a tie. They should have swept this a little bit sooner.
For the third time.
Another tie. What are we going to do, Director? Are you going to approve this?
Skips rocks.
What?
Skips rocks.
Skips rocks.
One rock.
All right.
One rock.
Director needs directing.
Single rock. The director has come from the director's mouth himself. Just one rock each.
Hello, Eric. Allowed defensive sweeping.
I hope they come back and listen to this because it's hilarious.
So we're tied, 7-7. Seventh round. Team Red serve up another rock.
It skips rock. So they're bringing out Giuseppe and Robert Kwan.
Giuseppe versus Robert
Kwan.
Team Red.
This is the game that keeps on giving.
Or ruins the schedule. Or ruins not over.
Has this been seen before?
More draws to go.
Has this been seen before in Nutmeg history?
I don't remember ever seeing a knockout going straight.
How long have you been here?
8 years.
8 years, and this has never been seen before. No report on this. Wait, Barbara. Barbara. Oh yeah, I gotta watch. You're right. What am I doing?
I would say a little bit heavy. A little bit heavy. It needs a little bit more of a curl.
Can't see. It looks like it's going really fast. Oh, and it misses it. So all Robert Kwan has to do is just get it in the house. Okay.
Touch the ring.
Touch the ring. That's all he has to do.
Sean, I was just asked, have you ever seen a nutmeg knockout go to an exercise?
No.
I've never seen it.
12 years, never seen it.
Sometimes it's like a nutmeg knockout that's tiring. I've never seen it.
Will the nerves get to Robert Kwan? I don't think
So
so.
we're still 7-7. All Robert's got to do is touch the blue ring.
Look at that.
Good. Looks like it's got a.
You can hear a pin drop.
The weight. It's got plenty. It's a little heavy.
Oh, it looks like it's going a little.
I think it's not going to house. It's
Oh, and it's a perfect shot by Robert Kwan.
Team Yellow for the win. And
Team Kwan. Guys, take a picture of that. Take a picture of that. It's so good. Oh, Giuseppe. That was so good. Wow. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. Yes, Robert Kwan. Good curling for everyone.
They're not that surprised by that challenge.
I feel like an Olympic commentator.
I mean, oh, dude, we're far off from an Olympic commentator. Anybody listening knows we're not Olympic commentators.
Wow.
Get the rock in the thing, yeah.
I know. Oh. They're making some announcement. Oh, and they're coming back in.
All right.
Woo! Should we end on that note?
Yeah, I don't know. You could just shut it off.
No, I don't know.
The power button?
I can't wait to hear you guys are saying.
Oh, we're gonna watch when we get home, right? I think it's just this.
You can turn them off now, because it's going to be a while.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure how.
It's right by the little green button.
It holds down. Okay. Press and hold.